Disclaimer, YouTube, this channel follows all YouTube guidelines. We do not sell anything. This channel does not sell firearms, and no real weapons are shown in this video as well. It's all prop, replica. So I'm not sponsored. This is not an ad.
Before this video starts, a huge shout out to our sponsor, Goy Slop Energy Drinks. Oh yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. Goy Slop Energy Drinks, yeah.
Hey Carl, can I borrow some magazines?
Fine, dude, but I'm sick and tired of giving you magazines. Like, you never bring enough. It's the most annoying thing. Who's the idiot now, Carl?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Everything Weapons. Subscribe if you are new, and let's get right into this video. So this video is going to be pretty cool. I have a lot of footage shooting in outside for once in a cool loadout kit, and I have Commando Store's idea magazine rig that's like it looks like IKEA. Cool 4 magazine pouch featured in this loadout, as well as a custom painted ballistic helmet prop painted by me, as well as the AK is custom. It has a giant flashlight, just super ridiculous 1980s 90s vibes with the size of the flashlight on this AK. But regardless, I also have the Turkish field shirt from 2018, also from Commando Store, as well as the heartbeat sensor prop in this video that is from Hammy 3D Prints. I have a separate video if you want to watch of an unboxing of that. But in today's video, we're going to discuss why don't U.S. forces adopt high-quality AK platform rifles as standard. So if you didn't know, the Americans currently in their U.S. Army service do not have any AK platform-style rifles, as M4s and AR family, M16 family are more common and what we've been using, but some special forces and mercenaries use the AK platform, which we will discuss later in this video. The U.S. military has not adopted the AK platform, AK-47, AKM, AK-74, or any other AKM-S, any of the other types, AN-94, or even high-quality licensed or modern variants from Finland, Romania, or commercial makers that make very cool modern AK variants as a standard issue rifle. For several reasons, the U.S. has not adopted it. Logistics and standardization. The U.S. has massive investments in the 5.56 NATO cartridge, which is 5.56 times 45 millimeters, if you didn't know, ecosystem, the M4, M16 family. So the U.S. already has a bunch of magazines, ammo, training, parts. Switching would require billions in dollars and retooling, supply chains, retraining, all of the logistics, providing AKs for everywhere, right? For gun stores, gun training places, for the police, for the military. It would take a lot of logistics and a crap ton of money. So ergonomics and modularity as well. The modern AKs are reliable, but generally less ergonomic. They have worse inherent accuracy, especially at range, heavier triggers, and poorer modularity for optics, lights, suppressors, etc. Whatever you want to chuck on your assault rifle, right, to customize it, compared to AR-15 and M4 platforms. However, AK with their platform, I would say that they're better in extreme cold or extreme weather, sand, anything, mud, slush, water. AKs do run the best, their platform in that, compared to M4, M16, right? But U.S. forces prioritize precision, like the CQB adaptability, and accessory rails are very important for attachments. The Americans love their attachments, right? So as well, next up, we're going to be talking about doctrine and ballistics. So U.S. prefers lighter 5.56 for higher volume of fire, flatter trajectory, and better terminal performance in many scenarios with modern ammo. AKs are typically 7.62, so 7.62 times 39 millimeter if you didn't know. Heavier recoil, more drop. And next up, industrial base. So U.S. manufacturers and procurement favor domestic designs like Colt, FN, HK influences. Political and economic factors also play a role in the industrial base, and proven alternatives. So the M4A1 and variants have been refined extensively and perform well in combat. High quality AK clones exist and are durable and reliable in harsh conditions like sand, mud, sludge, etc., with minimal maintenance. But the US ecosystem doesn't need that trade-off for most operations. So can US Spec Ops, soldiers, elite, our best troops use AK platform rifles in combat? Yes, they actually are allowed and have done so in the past, but with restrictions and usually not as primary weapons, which is you wouldn't expect that too much. So historical use extensively in Vietnam, captured AKs for ammo compatibility, deniability, or familiarity with enemy weapons. SEALs and Green Berets of America have used them in the past. Modern practice, Spec Ops like SEALs, Delta, Green Berets, etc., train on and can use foreign weapons, including AKs, for specific missions, like working with partner forces, blending in to an environment and country where AKs are the primary thing, and if they're a spy, if they're doing a Spec Ops mission, they look less like an enemy in a specific engagement, right? Also, scavenging ammo or psychological operations. They maintain inventories of AK variants. The Americans' Spec Ops, like the SEALs, Delta, and Green Berets, which is very interesting. Now, restrictions, they aren't standard issue, obviously, and use requires approval, mission necessity, and often chain of command oversight. So it's extremely rare for an American to be able to use an AK platform-style rifle in an engagement, but they can ask their authority, they can ask their higher-ups within the military, and it helps if the soldier is obviously more credited. So if they're more awarded, if they're more experienced, they have a higher chance at customizing their loadout if they're Spec Ops, right? Which is very cool. But overall, America defaults to M4s or MK18s unless there's a compelling reason, like covert ops, training allies, personal weapons policies exist, but are controlled. But the U.S. military has never adopted AK-style rifles, and personally I think they would never. It's ridiculous and completely unrealistic, and the country wouldn't cuck and fold to Soviet design, although the Soviets got it from the Germans because the STG is what the AK copied, and that's the first assault rifle made by Germany. But why not the AK? So historical and doctrinal choices. In the 1950s all the way to the 1960s, the US shifted from the powerful 7.62 M14 full power battle rifle to the lighter 5.56 M16 M16. This was driven by studies showing most infantry combat occurs at closer ranges, where volume of fire, lighter ammo for more carry capacity, and controllability in automatic fire matter more than raw power. The AK-47 in 7.62 was seen as a Soviet design optimized for mass production and ruggedness in harsh conditions, but the US prioritized accuracy potential, modularity, and a smaller intermediate cartridge. Logistics and standardization. So the US and NATO built a massive supply chain around 5.56 and the AR platform already, right? It's already established, so it's another reason America doesn't use AKs. Adopting a 7.62 or even 5.45 AK-74 rifle would require entirely new ammo production, right? Tons of new ammunition would have to be created, storage, distribution, and training as well. And the Allies would suffer as well. The military prefers evolving its existing ecosystem in optics, accessories, suppressors, etc., over starting over with a foreign design, right? And performance and training fit, US doctrine emphasizes marksmanship, fire discipline, optics like ACOGs, red dots, and combined arms. The M4, M16 series, especially with modern versions, offers better inherent accuracy, flatter trajectory, lower recoil for faster follow-ups, and easier integration with accessories. Troops train extensively on the AR platform. AKs have looser tolerances that aid reliability but reduce precision out of the box. So, U.S. manufacturers like Colt, FN, and now SIG produce domestic weapons. Adopting a Kalashnikov pattern would mean licensing or relying on foreign designs, which raises security and political issues. Special operations forces have used captured AKs opportunistically in the Vietnam for ammo compatibility with enemies or deniability, but never a standard issue. The U.S. is currently fielding the M7 or XM7 assault rifle in a more powerful 6.8 x 51mm cartridge to address concerns about armor penetration and longer range effectiveness, rather than going backward to AK patterns. Now, the pros of adopting AK-style rifles, so if the United States were to actually adopt AKs, so they would have extreme reliability and durability. So the long stroke gas piston, loose tolerances, and simple design make AKs legendary for functioning in mud, sand, dust, and after minimal maintenance. They excel in prolonged neglect or extreme environments. Also, AKs, next up, are cheap and easy to manufacture, extremely low cost in mass production, simple parts, and robustness suit large conscript armies or insurgencies. The stopping power is great with AK. 7.62 x 39mm has more energy and better barrier penetration than the M16 5.56 at close range especially. Simplicity, they're easy to train, minimally skilled users, fewer parts to lose. But now let's talk about the cons and the disadvantages of the United States adopted AK-style platform rifles for U.S. forces. Accuracy and controllability, generally less accurate than ARs at medium ranges due to their design and recoil. Full auto control is poorer with heavier round and less ergonomic layout. The weight and ergonomics, heavier ammo means soldiers carry fewer rounds. The platform is less modular for modern optics, lights, lasers, suppressors, and adjustable stocks compared to the AR-15's Picatinny rails and ecosystem. Logistical nightmare, new caliber, magazines, new spare parts, new mags, new retraining for millions of troops, breaks decades of NATO standardization. Maintenance philosophy, while the reliable, dirty U.S. forces emphasize cleaning and precision, modern ARs with proper care are highly reliable, and the piston-driven AK adds some complexity and weight as well in other areas. Outdated for current needs, U.S. engagements often involve body armor, drones, and longer effective ranges in some terrains. The military is moving to intermediate calibers with better performance, like the 6.8 9mm, not reverting to 1950s Soviet designs. So, in short, the AK is an excellent battle-proven rifle for certain contexts, rugged low-tech warfare, but it doesn't align with U.S. military doctrine, logistics, training, or emphasis on precision and modularity and accuracy. So the U.S. prefers iterating on its own platforms rather than importing design from a firmer adversary. The only way I would see U.S. using AKs is if they were losing a war and it was towards the end and they just wanted to give a bunch of soldiers a mass amount, a cheap assault rifle alternative, right? Choice. That's the only way I see them. Next up, I want to talk about magazines. So here in this video, I feature Commando Store's Idea magazine rig, but I want to talk about what's the most amount of mags that have been carried in operations, right? So the answer is around 15 to 20 magazines, or somewhere around 20 appears to be among the highest documented for individual soldiers on actual combat missions, though this is far above standard loads and highly mission dependent. So standard combat loads with US military is a basic load is typically 7 30-round magazines, which is 210 rounds of ammunition for an M4 or M16, 1 in the weapon plus 6 on the body. This is the doctrinal basic combat load. Soldiers often carried 10 to 12 magazines in practice, especially on patrols with extras in vehicles or bandoliers for resupply. Special Operation Forces, or SOF, tailored loads but rarely exceeded this dramatically due to mobility needs. So most of the time, Spec Ops choose mobility, they choose Lightweight Pro, they choose Marathon Pro, those perks over just carrying more ammo, right? Which is very smart because Spec Ops require lighter loads so they can stay fast in their engagements. They have to be the fastest, right? Higher loads in combat, individual soldiers have carried significantly more when expecting heavy contact or limited resupply. So 17 30-round magazines, 1 Iraq veteran account, 13 magazines, U.S. Marines in Desert Storm, and in the Vietnam War, often 10 to 14 20-round magazines, so 14 20-round mags, or multiple bandoliers. One Vietnam Marine mentioned carrying 20 20-round mags for an M14 on a long-range patrol. In the Grenada invasion of 1983, Operation Urgent Fury, a platoon leader carried 15 30-round mags and 2 bandoliers of extra ammo. A radio man carried 18 30-round magazines, plus many grenades. These were extreme parachute and early assault loads totaling over 100 plus pounds. But please keep in mind, guys, that these are just the documented examples in history and military where a bunch of mags were carried. I'm sure there's stories where soldiers had like more than 20 mags on them, right? Maybe even 50, I see, but it's a lot of weight. We're talking about 60 to 100 plus pounds. If you're approaching like over 20 mags, you're approaching almost 100 pounds of extra weight on you, which is very, very bad if you're in combat. Good for protection, I guess you could say, but is it worth it? Because your mobility just sucks and you struggle and you won't be able to go far. It just wears you down and then you won't be able to run, so it's not good. But it's good in certain missions and examples where a soldier's defending a lot or are expecting a lot of high combat, overwhelming forces, right? But I love the Commando Store 4-mag pouch. It's very cool. It's very light. It's a cheaper alternative, and I did customize it a tiny bit. I changed the colorway, although I'm not sure it turned out too good. But definitely check out Commando Store and 3D Hammy's 3D prints. Hopefully you guys enjoy my LARP loadout here. It was pretty fun customizing helmet, painting it myself, camo. I just went with like a basic, very broad beige camo design. It looks a little 1980s-esque and 1990s. I find the flashlight hilarious. That's why I added it on. It's just so massive. and unrealistic, but it just looks like an 80s or 90s AK, and maybe later I'll make videos where I actually use it in the dark. I just noticed I didn't get any dark shots, nighttime shots in this video, but whatever. It's just funny how if you LARP, if you have a soldier outfit, anything looks like cinematic. So I had fun making this video, just messing around in nature for once. It's my first video in nature, so it looks the best, I feel like. But all prop weapons here. This is just a prop channel whenever you see weapons, so they're fake, inert, just hollow 3D printing, non-functioning. But I want to talk about a great example. It's not a combat war story, but a great example in history where lots of magazines were carried. So if you didn't know, the North Hollywood shootout robbers was the biggest shootout in U.S. history recently, especially, and it happened in the 90s, I believe. Yep, 1997. And this is a great example where lots and lots of magazines were carried by just two guys, right? So the North Hollywood shootout robbers in 97 carried multiple high-capacity drum mags, extended box magazines, and several standard mags as part of an arsenal containing roughly 3,000 to 4,000 total rounds of ammunition carried by just two men. Rather than an exact singular count of individual magazines, official inventories detailed the specific high-capacity magazine attachments and extra supplies they utilized. So if you didn't know, the North Hollywood shootout robbers used high-capacity drum and box mags, but they just carried a ridiculous high number of mags on them for their robbery. And I'm going to say this, YouTube disclaimer, we do not condone bank robbing, okay? Don't rob a bank. We're just evaluating this historical bank robbery for its combat aspect and leaving ethics and out of it. We're just analyzing it hypothetically with mag use, okay? So I don't condone bank robbing. Anyways, they used Norwenko Type 56S and Type 56S1 AK platform rifles equipped with multiple 75 round to 100 round drum mags, as well as backup 30 round box magazines. And obviously in this video I don't have any drum mags, but I do have a lot on me, a good amount. I have 4 backups, and then I have 2 in my field shirt, pockets in the front, you'll notice, and then I have 1 in the AK itself. So what is that? That's 3 plus 4, which is 7. The North Hollywood shootout robbers also carried a Bushmaster XM15 dissipator, which is just an AR-15 style, fitted with dual 100-round Beta-C drum magazines. They also carried a H&K 91 A3 paired with several extended 40-round box mags, as well as Beretta 92 FS pistols carried with several handgun spare mags. So realistically, it's not logistically reliable for a soldier to carry a crap ton of mags, like more than 20, but I don't know, it's up to the soldier, you know. It's its own unique weird strength, right? A soldier that is just carrying 5,000 rounds of ammo, it's definitely like not useless, if that makes sense, you know. It's like I think it's worth it. I think it's kind of cool to have an ammo guy. Just have one ammo guy in your squad, right? In Spec Ops, countries should just have an ammo guy. Do you guys think they just carry like 10,000 rounds of ammo? It's just the mag guy, and he has just duffel bags, 3 duffel bags full of mags. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Please type a comment down below of what you thought about this video. It's very fun to make. Hopefully you found it entertaining and learned something. Subscribe, especially if you are new. It takes 2 seconds. Help me out. Why not do it? Don't be a weirdo who just watches a channel and never subs. Most viewers aren't subbing, so hit the sub button. Ring the bell if you don't want to miss any video we post in the future. That way you actually receive a text notification every time we upload. Take a look look at my older videos on the channel, lots of military videos to binge watch, and also drop a like. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated. Until next time, I hope you guys have a decent week, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.
Do you like the outfit? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's so cool.